Should cheerleading be considered a competitive sport? No. Background. Should cheerleaders be able to say cheer is a competitive sport? No, because it is not very competitive. In fact, only 10% of it is competitive. What is the problem with cheer being a sport? The problem is that people consider everything a sport, and it diminishes the word sport. Where is cheerleading? Cheerleading is often in the USA, but can also be in other countries. What is the problem with cheer being a sport? The problem with cheer being a sport, it is diminishing the word sport, because nowadays everyone considers cheerleading or everything as within a hobby a sport, which is just not good, and it's a little weird. Where is cheerleading? Cheerleading is often in the USA, but can also be in other countries like China or some parts of Asia. When does cheerleading occur? Cheerleading often occurs in usually the summertime, but can also be occurring year-round because it's not outside, so there's no weather constrictions. And why is cheerleading considered a sport or not? Cheerleading is often considered a sport, and in my opinion, it's not, because it is not competitive enough and is not really like that big of a sport. If it was bigger, maybe I'll consider it a sport. This might be a good idea. According to QBurster.com, they believe that cheer is a sport and it is physically an exhausting sport. According to crosssabres.org, in their opinion, cheer requires mental and physical strength. According to morganpawprint.com, cheer is difficult because not is it exhausting. Injuries are very common. Cons. The reason cheerleading is not a sport because according to nscsports.org, cheer is not recognized as a competitive sport. According to Cheer Theory, cheerleading is not in the Olympics yet, but they are considering put it in. And according to Love to Known, cheerleading traditionally is not
cheerleading in the U.S. I don't really like it. Do you think that cheerleading is a competitive sport? I don't think it's a sport, but it definitely is competitive. Should cheerleading be in the Olympics? No. Absolutely not.
In my opinion, cheer is not a competitive sport. I would consider it a challenging hobby. I'm not saying that it is not difficult. I'm saying that it's not a competitive sport. One of the reasons I believe it's not a competitive sport is because less than 10% of cheer is competitive. That is why I would not consider it a competitive sport. But if more of it was competitive and it was more widely known and it was in the Olympics, then yes, I would consider it a sport. But right now, it's still developing, but I could change my opinion in the future or later on.